Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back for the preview ahead of the quarter-final clash with Everton in the Carabao Cup. Yep, the League Cup heats up. Obviously, the final has been moved from February until April. Maybe they're hoping that they can get fans in to the stadium by around that time in April, or more fans than the potential 2,000, 4,000 type crowds we are seeing in certain areas in the country. So the final has been moved, but the quarter-final stages are here with us, and Manchester United take on Everton at Goodison Park for a place in the last four. Obviously, we see Newcastle take on Brentford, Arsenal take on Manchester City, Stoke take on Tottenham as well. So it could be, a very, very fierce final four. You could potentially have Manchester City, Newcastle, Manchester United, and of course Tottenham in the last four, which would make for an interesting round of semi-finals. But those teams have to do the job first, and Manchester United have to go to an in-form Everton now. They have picked up form. They're looking a lot better than they have in recent time and in recent weeks. And they've picked up a little run of form under Carlo Ancelotti, getting big results in some big games. So Manchester United are taking on a different Everton side. And when we went there to Goodison Park and got that win in the league, it was a big win for Manchester United, and we need to keep that going. Obviously, we've got going again in the Premier League. We've got results under our belt, and that culminated in that 6-2 win over Leeds. But we've got one eye on that that Boxing Day fixture against Leicester City on the weekend. So I'm sure Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be looking to bring the changes and still keep a strong 11 and look to get into that semi-final. So big opportunity for Manchester United. We got to 3 semi-finals last year. We need to be doing the same this time around, and hopefully progressing even further than that semi-final stage. So we are here with the game, and that is tomorrow evening. I'll be giving you my predicted 11, thoughts ahead of the game, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's quotes, as well as a few players have been ruled out for Manchester United. And we'll be giving you all the latest news surrounding the club going into this game. I can see a few of you in the comments already. We've got Ryan, Sahajbia, Shobit, David, Manav. So thank you guys, and the rest of you guys, for joining us. Make sure you're hitting that like button, you're commenting, you're subscribing, and sharing as well, as we take on Everton in this Cup quarter final. Let's have a look at some of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's quotes then ahead of this game. And Manchester United will be without 2 players who started in that win over Leeds United. So it remains to be seen whether they would have started this game anyway. Obviously, if they weren't starting in that game against Leeds, if they did start in that game against Leeds, which was a couple of days ago, you'd assume they may have been rotated for this game anyway. But they have been a few injuries, and those are to Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Scott McTominay. And Scott McTominay obviously looked really good against Leeds United at the weekend, scoring 2 goals in 3 minutes. The first player to score 2 goals in the first 3 minutes of a Premier League game, which was incredible from him. Adding a different side to his game, although the first goal that he scored was similar to the goal he scored against Arsenal. It was great to see him making those driving runs, and when Martial picked him out, he had the finesse and the skill to control the ball, get it under his control, and apply the finish as well. We saw a great performance from Scott McTominay. Now, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he wouldn't have been in my 11 for this game anyway, but obviously you don't want to hear that he is injured for this one. You want to see him going into that game against Leicester City with rest rather than recovery, being the aim of those days off and that game off. So obviously a disappointed injury, but those are the only injuries Manchester United have going into this game. And Ole said those 2 will definitely miss the game against Everton. Hopefully it won't be too long that they're out for, but they will be out. Apart from that, everyone else is more or less okay. When asked if this competition could continue to provide opportunities for those who helped United reach this round, including the likes of Eric Bailly, Jesse Lingard, Juan Mata and Adrian Igalo, the boss was keeping his cards close to his chest. I'm not going to give you the team, he said, but we will make a few changes. There's been a few players playing in the Carabao Cup earlier in the season, and some will need a rest after the league game. So it will be a fresh team. On the way here to this round, United have beaten Luton and Brighton and Hove Albion away from home and on the road again. And our away form has been the best form for Manchester United. Obviously, we've had recent victories at Old Trafford against West Bromwich Albion and against Leeds United. We also beat not Paris Saint-Germain, sorry, RB Leipzig and Istanbul at Old Trafford this season as well. A good performance against PSG, but the results generally haven't been good at Old Trafford. They've been a lot better on the road, and we're on a record-breaking run in the league away from home. Now, as for in the Cup, we're obviously on a decent run, but those opposition have been Luton, Brighton, away from home. Teams that you'd expect to beat. This is a step up in the level of opposition, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of team Carlo Ancelotti puts out. Now, you'd expect he'd be looking to go for this, because when you're 1-2 games away, 2 rounds away from a final, and potentially winning a cup, getting European football for next season, if Carlo Ancelotti can get a Europa League spot under his belt and then try and target a top 4 spot to get Champions League football, he'd be in a great position. And imagine bringing a trophy back to Goodison Park. He'd be a hero there. So you'd imagine that he's going to target those cup competitions, and Everton will put out a strong side in this. They've got a decent squad too, we know that. Now, as for Manchester United, Ollie's already confirmed Lingard will be in the squad. McTominay, Busaka missing out, and it'll be interesting to see if Dean Henderson replaces David De Gea, as he has done so on previous occasions in the competition. We've got that game against Leicester City as well, and I'm sure Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will have one eye on that game at the weekend on Boxing Day. Now, Jesse Lingard's back in the squad, back in the team for this one. Whether he starts or not still remains to be seen, and I'm sure there's some players that are a little bit more ahead of him in terms of fitness and things like that that could be pushing for a start in this game. But it'd be good to even get Jesse Lingard back. Like I was speaking about it after the Premier League game against Leeds. We're starting to tick over now. You know, we're third in the league, game in hand, potentially go 2 points behind Liverpool if you were to play that game in hand and win it. And we've done this without really playing well consistently this season. We need to hopefully go on that run now. But also, without key players really beginning to perform. I know Martial this week has scored and had a couple of assists, maybe 3 assists if you include winning the penalty against Leeds. And his all-round performance was pretty good. You know, Rashford's performances and his goal output has been pretty good. But Greenwood's been pretty quiet. Cavani's scored goals when he's played, but obviously has been upset by injury and those kind of things. When you get all of those guys scoring and in form, United are going to be a completely different prospect. And then you even look at the likes of Pogba, who's now starting to find his form and find his feet. Donny van der Beek, who's going to be getting used more and more as the season progresses. We've got players that can contribute to this team and make our team even better. So there are things to be positive about, but also we have got a little bit of strength in depth when it comes to making changes following that game against Leeds, where the players ran more than they've ran in any fixture this season to counteract the way Bielsa's side played. And there'll be a lot of fatigue and tiredness going into that Leicester game, so we want to rest a few players. And I expect we will make a few changes because we've got the players there to do that. Let me just fix that right now. Probably best not to go to scratch my back and elbow that off. But yeah, I expect he'll make a few changes for that game, and it will show in the predicted 11 that I'll put out. To get your thoughts in on some of the players you think deserve an opportunity in this game against Everton in the Cup. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think we should rest Bruno and play Donny? Says AA. I will speak about that. Sean Patrick's in the comments. Nice one for joining us, mate. David says we'll miss McTominay. Jamie says hope Cavani starts. Avishek says give Lingard a chance. Sagnik's in the comments. Nice one for joining us. Ross thinks Paul's going to play. And as I said, we'll come back to that one in regards to... yeah, always. We'll come back to that one in regards to Bruno and Donny van der Beek. Obviously, Donny van der Beek getting 2 goals and an assist against Leeds United, continuing his impressive form since he arrived at Manchester United. Obviously, in recent weeks, I think he has looked a little bit tired. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, although I think Bruno Fernandes is one of those players like Wayne Rooney, where I remember Fergie used to say, well, I want to rest him, but the boy just does my head in. He don't stop telling me he wants to play every single game. And I can imagine that Bruno Fernandes is similar in that regard. He wants to play every single game. He's got that winning mentality. He don't want to miss games. He wants to be in the squad. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer kind of has to protect him from himself, protecting for himself as well. We need Bruno Fernandes to be fit and firing in those games against Leicester City and in the league game, and obviously hopefully in a semi-final and a final. But I think this is a great opportunity, and the reason why we bought someone like Donny van der Beek was so that we could rest Bruno Fernandes when we needed to. The reason why we needed that depth was so we could rest those kind of players, rest Bruno, or if Pogba weren't playing, we had someone that could step in. And whilst Fred, McTominay have all been stepping up with their performances, Donny van der Beek is also someone that can come in and use his quality in terms of the way he uses the ball, his possession retention, his creation, his goal sniffing ability. Donny van der Beek's a perfect choice and perfect replacement to come in for Bruno Fernandes, who I think does deserve a rest. So I'm not against that at all, and you'll see that in the 11 that I have predicted. In fact, let's just get on with it and get that predicted 11 out right now. This is the predicted 11 that I've gone with for this game. Dean Henderson back in goal. I know he made that mistake against... when did he make that mistake again? Against Sheffield United. I know he made that mistake, but I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will show some faith in him. He has played in the League Cup, and I think Henderson will play in this game. Plus, he recovered quite well after that mistake. With Aaron Wan-Bissaka out, I think we'll see Brandon Williams at right back. I was on the Stretford Paddock preview. I suggested that Tuanzebe might start with Maguire, but Ole seems to stick with Maguire and Lindelof and play them. So I think that could be the same thing here. And then Alex Telles at left back. I've gone with a midfield of Matic, Pogba and Donny van der Beek. McTominay obviously missing out through not being available, but I wouldn't have picked McTominay or Fred anyway. I would have completely changed the midfield. Give Bruno Fernandes a rest as well. Mason Greenwood hasn't started much games at all, so bring him in. Edinson Cavani as well is fit and available for selection, so bring him in. Marcus Rashford needs a rest. Anthony Martial's missed a lot of football through suspension and injury. He's looking like he's starting to tick over now. I would start him on that left-hand side, let him rotate with Cavani. We know Cavani likes to move out to the left, likes to move out to the right. So I think that will give us the movement and the fluidity in the front three, and I'd go with that team for this game. And even though you've made loads of changes, 2 changes to the front three, you've changed the whole midfield, you've changed your fullbacks and your goalkeeper, even though you've made all those changes and only 2 or 3 players start from the team against Leeds, 8 changes to that one, I would go with this side. San says Tuanzebe and Bailly should play. David says Matic, really? Give us your thoughts on who you would like to see in there. Richarlison might not start. He had a wrist injury and was in pain against Arsenal, says Tony. Yeah, possibly. He also says United should cancel Igalo contract because we are wasting him on the bench. Hasn't played football at all since the restart. That's true, although I'm not sure what will happen with that. Brentford and Newcastle is currently 0-0, almost half time in that one. But of course we are focusing on Manchester United and that trip to Everton. And Everton have found some form. Obviously Manchester United beat them at Goodison Park earlier in the campaign. They have got a few injuries with Alan, Delph and Digne missing for them. Gomez is a doubt. James Rodriguez is also a doubt for Everton. And as I said earlier, McTominay, Wan-Bissaka are out for Manchester United as well in this one. But Everton have those injuries and they've been on a good run of form. Since Manchester United beat them, they did have a little bit of a wobble. That Manchester United victory came as their 3rd defeat in a row. Then they beat Fulham, lost against Everton, and then they've been back in form in the last 4 games, picking up 3 wins and a draw against Arsenal, Leicester, Chelsea and Burnley. The draw coming at Burnley. Funnily enough, they've beaten Chelsea, Leicester, Arsenal in their last 3 games. So Everton will be full of confidence coming into this one. They have picked up their form again, but as we've seen, they have the ability to go on runs where they do lose plenty of fixtures and they do lose games. And we saw how we can exploit them in that performance at Goodison Park earlier in the season. In the last couple of games for them in the League Cup, they have gone with a strong side. Dominic Calvert-Lewin got a hat-trick against West Ham. Richarlison played, James Rodriguez played, Delph, Alan, Sigurdsson all played. So they went with a very, very strong team against West Ham last time out in that round of 16. Now in the last 8, obviously you'd expect them to go with a strong side again and Carlo Ancelotti not to be messing about. They also beat Fleetwood as well, and even in that Fleetwood game, they played a pretty strong team. They played Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Iwobi, Doubt, Bernard, Sigurdsson. So whilst they have got depth, they have been showing that they're looking to take these cup competitions seriously, and who knows, possibly lift one. Trophies are scarce on Goodison Park, and I'm sure Carlo Ancelotti will be looking to bring a trophy in this season, and European football, and the EFL Cup ticks both of those boxes. So Everton will be a big threat in this game. I'm expecting a more difficult game with the changes Manchester United will make, with it being a cup game that's decided on the day. I expect it to be a difficult game at Goodison Park. Maybe loads of goals as well. There were 4 goals in the last game, so you know both teams have the ability to score. And even if United were to make 8 changes like I've done there with my team, we can still field a very strong side that would be fresh. You know, Pogba, Van der Beek in that midfield, Greenwood, Cavani coming into the front 3 potentially. United can go there, make changes, rest players for that game against Leicester City on Boxing Day, and also take this cup competition seriously. So I'm hoping the boys do that at Goodison Park tomorrow night. I'll be on Stretford Paddock on the watch along and all that stuff back with the lads. I'm on the next few games as well. Leicester, we're doing that. The game on the 30th, we're doing that as well. And there's also a game on the 29th, isn't there? So when are the games? Yeah, 26th, 29th and the 1st. I'll be on Stretford Paddock for all those. So yeah, big game coming up. I hope United take it seriously. I know we're kind of hoping we can force a title challenge of sorts, but also, you know, I would love to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer lifting a trophy as Man United manager. And the cup competitions are likely to be our best opportunity of winning the trophy. You know, so Liverpool looking ridiculously good in the league. As much as we'd like to challenge, that one is going to be very difficult. So these cup competitions take on bigger priority for Man United, and with us being 2 steps away from a final, with us having got to 3 semi-finals and not quite done it last year, we need to do it this time around. And I have a good feeling about this game going into it. I think we will get a win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Manchester United, with Paul Pogba being the star of the show, grabbing a goal and also setting up Cavani. Is that a really specific prediction? But that is my prediction for this one. Let us know some of your predictions for this game as well. Get your thoughts in the comments below on AdamMcKola TV. Make sure you're subscribing as well. Drew is going for 3-1. Ryan's going. The games are coming thick and fast. They really are. What does winning the League Cup do for us as Adam? It's sign of progression. If we're getting a trophy, we haven't won a trophy in 3 years. When you're a couple of games, I don't think staying in the League Cup really has a dramatic effect on your league performance. That's why I'm all for us going for this one. So my prediction is a 2-1 win for Man United. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Keep it locked to AdamMcKola TV as well. I'll be back with much more. But for now, I'm out of here.